Well, we know that students who come to school prepared mentally and physically have a better opportunity of academic success.
If kids come to school hungry, they're not ready to learn, they can't focus for the day, they're tired, and we know that kids who have food insecurity may have other issues going on at home as well. There might be issues with rent or utilities, and when their families are struggling and in crisis, kids feel that too.
Eating healthy and having access to healthy foods allows students to have that balance of both physical, mental, and spiritual health.
As the pandemic started, we saw a lot more families having food insecurity, not able to get the items that they're used to getting, not having the resources to buy food. And we realized that when kids didn't have the things they needed and didn't have food or other resources and necessities at home, it was really hard for them to focus on their learning.
I think that when the pandemic first hit, a lot of families looked towards the schools to where am I gonna get food at to feed my child, right? And I think that it just exposed how important it is for schools to be able to have resources, food resources to help families that are in need.
We are responsible for students upwards to 7 hours a day. So it only makes sense that schools partner with community agencies to be the conduit between the resources that are provided to our families and the families themselves.
Food insecurity affects roughly 50,000 children in our region. School pantries help to tackle that problem by meeting children where they are at, which is in schools. It helps build a relationship with the families, right? Like it bridges the gap between at home and school.
Here in Greece, we started with just one food pantry at one of our high schools, and we saw how successful it was, but it was run by the school, so it relied solely on donations from staff and community members. And when we realized that Foodlink was partnering with school districts, we immediately jumped on board and reached out to them and asked if we could work with them.
When we interviewed students, they said they wanted to have healthy food, nutritious food, and good tasting food. And so we revamped our entire lunch program and breakfast program to provide that. But we also realized that students needed the same type of resources over vacations and in the evenings, on the weekends. And so by partnering with Foodlink, we were able to provide an opportunity for families within our community to have the same experiences from a nutrition standpoint that we offer here during the school day.
A lot of people have reached out to us about opening their own pantries, and they're so eager and excited, but they haven't thought through the logistics of it. It really does take time. It's a huge undertaking. We have a whole team of people working in this pantry. Partnering with Foodlink is the only way we could do this. I know that when people are trying to do it without Foodlink, it was really a challenge, and this has just made it viable.
Having these resources allow families to recover from what was lost during the pandemic, but to also plan for the future. Families will often say to us that if it were not for the food pantry, if it were not for partnerships with the Foodlink, they would be unsure which decision they would make between heat and health. And so as costs rise throughout the community for heating and water and gas, parents are forced to make a pivotal choice. And we want to make sure that we can eliminate one of those barriers and ensure that every child and every family has adequate food and adequate health supplies as they move forward throughout the winter.
Each person on our team gets phone calls, text messages, emails on a regular basis from families that are so appreciative. I got off the phone with a mom this morning who was crying, finding out about the resources we had, and she was just so thankful to be in our district knowing that we have these things for them.
We know that the children are the future, right? We know that we have to help children reach their full potential so that they can be able to take the work that we're doing, right, and keep it going forward, right, almost like a relay race. One of the keys in them being able to take that torch and move it forward is having access to healthy food, healthy, nutritious foods, and school pantries are looking to do just that.